Hey everyone, welcome to DataMillennials. I'm Atul, and in this video we are going to discuss about the unbound local error and how we can handle this unbound local error in Python. So an unbound local error in Python occurs when you attempt to access a local variable before it has been assigned a value within the current scope. It's like trying to use a tool that has not been assembled yet and it's not ready for use. So you will encounter an error. This typically happens when a variable is referenced inside a function or method, but Python cannot find that variable, or you can say that the Python cannot find a local assignment for that variable. For example, if you try to modify a variable inside a function without first declaring it as a local variable using the global keyword or by assigning a value to it within the function scope, then Python will raise a unbound local error. Okay, so let's try to implement it over here and see how does this unbound local error looks like. Okay, so I'm going to define a function where I'm going to put the name as increment. In this function I'm going to put count 1, so I'm incrementing the count variable by 1 and then I'm returning the count. Okay, now if I print this increment function, or if I call this increment, you can see, okay, I have a name error because I did the mistake in spelling. So let's run it again. Now when I ran it again, you can see that I have unbound local error. This unbound local error says that cannot access local variable count where it is not associated with a value. Okay, so if we have this error, then how we can perform the exception handling? First of all, what we need to do is that we need to put this entire thing into the try block, and then we have to print the increment. Now as we have placed this code into try block, I have to put the except block also. So within this except block I am expecting an unbound local error, right? So I'm going to put unbound local error as E, and then I'm going to print the message which will help the user to understand what exactly is the reason for this error. So I'm going to say, hey user, we we have encountered an unbound local error, and then I'm gonna put the details of that error. So let's run it now. Now you can see over here that we have this message which says, hey user, we have encountered an unbound local error, cannot access local variable count where it is not associated with a value. So the function increment is defined with the intention to increment the value of variable count. Inside the function, count is used before being assigned any value within the function. This makes count a local variable due to assignment operator over here. Okay, so when Python tries to execute this count plus equal to 1, it looks for a local variable count, but it does not find any local variable since it has not been assigned any value yet. This causes an unbound local error. So when increment function is called over here, the error is raised because count is referenced before assignment within the function scope. Now if we talk about how we can correct this entire code that we have over here, if I simply put the value saying count equal to 0, and I'm going to take this count as an argument over here, and over here I'm going to take the initial count, or instead of initializing it over here, let's simply take one thing, that we'll add a new variable initial count equal to 0, and I'll pass this initial count into my function calling. It needs to be over here. Okay, now if I run this, you can see that we have the count 1. So this is a normal way of handling unbound local error in Python. Happy learning and see you in the next video.